make these clips and put these videos in their channels for, because most of them are doing it for money, right? Which is not a clearer, much more clearer and broader perspective of why you would even teach these things to people. It's not about money, you understand? And that's what showed me again that a lot of people think that a lot of attraction is about money. That's why they are lost. That's why they can't manifest anything in their lives. They expect you to have all of these extra things. Like look at me, look at my environment, guys. Look at just look at the place that I live in. This is just a decent, and it's like compared to other people's environments, it's a blessed environment, understand? Because I can at least have a sense of solitude and peace and, you know, seclusion, you know, respect, space, all that. I can have, I have the privilege of that, you know. I have neighbors, good neighbors, whatever. But that's beside the fact, right? I'm just trying to show you that you don't need to have all of these like extra things in place for you to share your messages, because I know a lot of people, right, who share Esther's messages through the clips that they share on their own channels, right? They are, most of them are doing it for, like they are doing it in a good spirit and for the good purposes, you understand? Whereas now they don't even realize that they've made a ripple of people who are doing it for strictly for the money, you understand? So I think that should stop, because like you are, like I don't even want to get there. All I'm just saying is you have to learn how to see these things for yourself, right? So that you won't have to always rely. Like think about it. What if they take down that channel? You know, what if they take down YouTube in general? What if they take it down? Where are you going to get the messages from? Where are you going to get the teachings from? If you don't understand them yourself, if all that you you so in the building, man. What's good, yo? So like, yo guys, on this video I want to share some information about like what Abraham, because I understand that not every one of us in here, in my channel, right, listens to Abraham messages or Abraham's teachings, right? But you have to understand that Abraham is a spirit, understand? And Miss Esther, right, she's probably one of the most receptive vessels, right, that this spirit can like inhabit, understand, or like can use as its vessel to like share its messages, you understand? So like a lot of people, right, they think maybe like Abraham is like a god or something, but like that's besides the fact, right? All I want you to understand is that like, and what Miss Esther specifically wants you to understand, just based upon what Abraham has told her about every teaching that she's been telling or sending the message just to through, right, to us, so that we can know and come to the full realization of who we really are, right? So Esther has been the most receptive vessel that this earth has ever, at least in this present times, that this earth has ever like uh, had, you know, or it still has. So like, and I listened to and watched another video that touched on like, so she was explaining that like people shouldn't try to like cling onto her specific teachings, I understand, but the only important thing that you can take from her messages is your own understanding, understand, and your ability to come up to those realizations based upon you and the environment and the people and the places and the things that you interact with daily. You understand? So that you can see that what, like, the teachings she's sharing with us is merely teachings. It's just realizations. You understand? Based upon experiences, because the less experiences you have, the less wisdom you have. You understand? And it, like, wisdom is the ability to choose the experiences that you need to have or that you want to have. Understand? So that life doesn't have to take, or life doesn't have to give you experiences that you don't need to experience. Understand? Just based upon you being lost in the world. Understand? So once you can, that's why she says, like, it's a source that flows through and to you, and it always gives you these messages. Understand? And it's true. Abraham is a force field, is an energy, is a frequency that gives you all of these ideas. Understand? So that you can come to the full realization of who you truly are. Right? Using your words, your understanding, your language, your background, everything, and you'll be able to understand who you are. Understand? Without always having to rely on her messages and having to reiterate what she says. And just to reiterate, like, a lot of people, right, and I've been noticing this, like, a lot of people are making short clips, right, of Esther's teachings, right, and then they are sharing them on their channels like it's their own messages, you understand, or teachings. Whereas if you can look at it, it's just opposing, or it's just whatever that those people are doing, right? Those who are using clips and short clips to create content using Esther's teachings, you guys are defeating the purpose, because you are using the very same messages, right, that you had to learn, right? You had to regurgitate, and you had to understand, you had to endure, right? You're using this very same, like, think about it this way. When you read a book, right, you read that book so that you can, like, teach other people who are not willing to read that book, and give them the summary of what that book was about, right? So in the very same way, if you're gonna take now Esther's messages, which is the messages that she took from the spiritual library of Abraham, right? When you take those messages and regurgitate them, aka make short clips of them, then you are defeating the purpose, because there's nothing, like, there's no longer a sense of expansion from that. You understand? And, like, it's always, and it's also a disservice to Esther, as she's the one who puts all of her energy to create these things. You understand? These videos, and the intention behind it is far more finer and clearer than what these people who make these clips and put these videos in their channels for, because most of them are doing it for money, right? Which is not a clearer, much more clearer and broader perspective of why you would even teach these things to people. It's not about money, you understand? And that's what showed me again that a lot of people think that a lot of attraction is about money. That's why they are lost. That's why they can't manifest anything in their lives. They're expected to have all of these extra things. Like, look at me, look at my environment, guys. Look at just look at the place that I live in. This is just a decent, and it's like, compared to other people's environments, it's a blessed environment. Understand? Because I can at least have a sense of solitude and peace, and, seclusion, you know, respect, space, all that. I have the privilege of that. I have neighbors, good neighbors, whatever. But that's beside the fact, right? I'm just trying to show you that you don't need to have all of these, like, extra things in place for you to share your messages, because I know a lot of people, right, who share Esther's messages through the clips that they share on their own channels, right? Most of them are doing it for, like, they are doing it in a good spirit and for the good purposes. Understand? Whereas now they don't even realize that they've made a ripple of people who are doing it for strictly for the money. Understand? So I think that should stop, because Like I don't even want to get there. All I'm just saying is you have to learn how to see these things for yourself, right? So that you won't have to always rely. Like, think about it. What if they take down the channel? What if they take down YouTube in general? What if they take it down? Where are you going to get the messages from? Where are you going to get the teachings from? If you don't understand them yourself, if all that you want to do with the messages is to share them and make profit off of them, which is not the initial intention behind the messages ever being put out in the first place, because it wasn't for money. It was just their realization themselves that, oh, we can actually access this. Why not share it with other people? So that was the realization, not to say, okay, we can do money while using this and doing that. That will never go far. It's only going to go a very short way. You understand? Because you can't use people longer. They'll always come to the realization that they are being used for something. You understand? And especially if it's somebody that is strong spiritually, you cannot even, like, nothing can slip through that person. You understand? That you think has slipped through. You might think that they slip, but they let it slide because that's just the perspective. It's broader than yours, so you can't even begin to imagine what they are thinking about for them to even think about thinking about that. Understand? But that's besides the fact, because the only important thing that I want you to take from this video is that you yourself have these messages coming to you. You understand? These spiritual realizations, messages, whatever, boom, boom, yada, yada, you know. But the reason you can't express them how you were meant to be expressing them is because you are now trying to regurgitate somebody else's way of looking at the world or teaching these things. You understand? Because the reason that I even just watch these people teach about these laws and everything about the world is because I myself want to confirm the realizations that I've been having about the world myself. So watching these people actually helped me to confirm, to say, okay, these things don't only happen to me. These are real life experiences that happen on a daily, and these are experiences that we all need to experience so that we can come to the full, keyword, full realization, full, not half, not a little bit, not, because the more you come to the realization of who you are, the more you can come to a broader perspective of reality as a whole, and therefore you won't need to regurgitate anyone's information or fight with anybody for opportunities or compete in general. You won't even, like, the sense of competing, it won't exist in you because you've already found what you are meant to be here for. You understand? So even if somebody can pick up $1,000,000 right in front of your feet and you didn't see it, then you can easily come to a realization that, oh, that money wasn't even meant for me. You understand? It was meant for me to be there so that that person can see that money for themselves. That's why they picked it before me. Things like that, because people, the reason people compete or the reason people do low vibrational things is because of they don't really understand who they really are, and they haven't come to that full realization. They haven't even come to the half realization of who they really are. So the only thing that they can do is to regurgitate other people's information and teachings and pretend that it's theirs and make money off that. You understand? Whereas they can always come to the realization of who they really are and then see these messages for what they really are. Understand? So, like, yo, that's all. That's it, man. See you on the next one. If you like my content, subscribe, whatever. And I'm also going to do live streams. Understand? So very soon I'm gonna do live streams on Skype and on Gmail. So if there's any of you who want to join the live streams, then you can link up your Gmails and Skype account, whatever, so that you can catch up there and have much more longer sessions, for talking about these concepts of the world and learning about reality like we were supposed to learn about it, not how these schools and governments are trying to make us learn about it. No, understand? So, like, yo, hippie, so in the building. Main. Bam. Wow.